Today in motorsports, Rossi breaks leg in accident, putting him out of MotoGP season, I think. Monza once again produces a race that nobody remembers. Rossi wins a race and I didn't even have to predict it. And Porsche continue to be smug arseholes in WEC. All in a jam-packed episode of Unsafe Press Release, your unreliable source for racing news. Of Formula 1, we venture to the most historically significant racetrack in all of Formula 1, Monza, and it being a race that's been on the calendar for many decades, the race was pretty forgettable, with Lewis Hamilton taking the win with Valtteri Bottas in second, while Vettel had to settle, that rhymes, for third. That meant that Lewis had retained the lead for the World Championship by 3 points over Vettel. And during the podium, he made it abundantly clear that Mercedes power was better than Ferrari power, by saying it out loud to the audience of thousands of Ferrari fans. Vettel made sure that his words of comfort made its way towards the fans afterwards, with his own stock words used for nearly every podium interview by at least one driver. After the race, Daniel Ricciardo proved himself to be a mastermind of Italian linguistics by becoming a speak and spell in an interview with none other than the journalistic GOAT, Will Buxton, after he went from 16th on the grid from penalties all the way to 4th. While Max Verstappen got a puncture and only managed a 10th place finish, making me a very happy bunny in the process. Fernando Alonso's team radios were once again squeezed out like a rotting orange, as if we weren't completely sick of him hearing be stuck in limbo for 16 hours straight, as he retired only a few laps before the end of the race, once again feeding the completely bullshit rumour of the car having no problems at all. This is legit more insane and bollocks than the Mercedes sabotage conspiracy last year. F1 fans want to believe some of the most insane, inane bullshit ever blurted out by human beings. Not nearly as insulting was Ferrari chairman Sergio Marchionne having an anime was a mistake moment by straight up saying that Ferrari fucked up and that they had their head up their arse during the race. Of course, that's not the exact quote, but it definitely could have been that. He ended up saying, "We screwed up from Belgium from Spa into here. Now we need to go back to the factory and find out which way the car went sideways. But we will be back in Singapore." Comment the words, "I believe Ferrari will do okay in Singapore," if you think they will do okay in Singapore. In the wonderful, wacky, whimsical world of Indycar, we went to the infamous Watkins Glen circuit, where we were treated to a race that was a good 7 or 8 times more entertaining than the Italian Grand Prix was. And on pole was the bane of my existence back in 2016. That year's Indy 500 winner, Alexander Rossi. During the start of the race, the lead was switched a few times between Rossi and Castroneves, while Spencer Pigot had to be the guy to be the butt of the ever-so-original "had fuzzies vodka before the start of the race" joke. While James Hinchcliffe's car decided that it didn't want to work anymore, putting up the full course yellow. Takuma Sato would also have problems, once again making me very sad in the process, putting out another full course yellow, which played lovingly into the hands of pole sitter Alexander Rossi. While the last round of pit stops started to happen, points leader Joseph Newgarden went wide coming out of the pit lane, being hit in the arse by the recently returned driver Sebastian Bourdais, which would make a huge implication in the championship. So, at the end, Alexander Rossi won the race with Scott Dixon second, putting him only 3 points behind Newgarden, which in turn gives the residents of Sonoma a super amazing finale to go by later in the month of September. I can't believe it, but we absolutely need to revive this meme in the most forced way possible because Alexander Rossi is part of this team. So here it is! Brian Herter Autosport with Andretti Autosport. Brian Herter Autosport with Andretti Autosport. Brian Herter Autosport. Michael Andretti. Brian Herter with Michael Andretti. In the wanderlust weary wacky Wandervar world of the World Endurance Championship, we went to the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez in Mexico, where once again, the Toyota fans all over the world started to hurt. Badly. In the 24 hours of Le Mans, all 3 of their cars had monumental problems in the race within a short amount of time between each other, which stopped me from eating for 4 days as a result. So hopefully, in Mexico, we would finally give ourselves a reason to root for Toyota again. And by the time the race had started, all those feelings had passed and gone. But those feelings came right back. The race started with the 2 Porsches in the top 2 positions. Fucking hell. So instead, for the majority of the race, I subverted my emotional feelings to the guys and girls in the LMP2 and GT categories. Because LMP1 is trash. The number 26 G-Drive car, being driven by Alex Lim, was kicking monumental arse in the first stint of the race, while the Ferraris and Aston Martins were scrapping for the lead in the GT race, with the battle being fought by Formula E Mark Sam Bird and Davide Rigon in the Ferraris, and Nicky Team and Marco Sorensen in the Aston Martin. While in LMP1, everything that could have happened in the race didn't happen, as the Porsches finally finished 1-2. Fuck LMP1. But Nicky Team and Marco Sorensen in the Aston Martin car won the GTE Pro category, and the LMP2 winner ended up being the Valianti Rebellion crew consisting of Julien Canal, Nico Prost, and Bruno Senna. Did you really think that 25 years into the future, Prost and Senna would be working in tandem with each other again? Only in World Endurance. Also in a MotoGP, Valentino Rossi broke both his legs, but he had surgery to sort them out, so hopefully he will be back again soon. Get well as soon as possible, Valley. And that's about everything relevant in the motorsport community that I have any chance of talking about comedically. Comment in the comment storage system if you care. If you care, then... If you don't care, then, you know, just don't comment. Yeah, that's about it. Bye.